Imagine for a moment that every debt you have ever had has been forgiven. Sounds incredible, right? But what if I told you that this could be a curse, not a blessing? Intriguing? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to this space of reflection and inspiration. Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating parable of forgiveness in Matthew 18. A story that will challenge our deepest notions about forgiveness. Pay attention, don't get distracted, because this is a message from God, prepared to bless your life today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this video. By doing so, you will be an instrument of God, spreading His word to more hearts. In the days of Jesus, He told a compelling story that challenged the listeners then and continues to challenge us today. It was the story of a king who forgave a monumental debt owed by one of his servants. The debt was so large that it would be impossible to pay off during the servant's lifetime. At that time, a debt of that magnitude could lead a person into slavery. The debtor's family could also be sold to pay off the debt. It was a desperate situation. However, when the servant pleaded, the king, moved by compassion, canceled the debt. Imagine the relief the servant must have felt. The joy and the freedom. But the story doesn't end here, and this is where things get really interesting. This same servant encountered one of his fellow servants who owed him a much smaller amount. Instead of forgiving this small debt, as he himself had been forgiven, the servant threw his fellow servant into prison until the debt was paid. It sounds shocking, doesn't it? But before we judge, let's look within ourselves. How many times in life are we quick to demand justice when we are the ones harmed, but plead for mercy when we are the ones who have made the mistake? Here lies the heart of the parable of forgiveness. Forgiving is more than just forgetting an offense. It is a demonstration of love and grace, a reflection of how God treats us. And who is the king in this story? The king is a symbol of God, who cancels our debts, no matter how great they may be. We are the servants, called to act with the same grace we have received. But why is forgiveness so difficult? Is it because forgiveness involves vulnerability? Is it because forgiveness seems unfair? The truth is that forgiveness is not about being fair or not, but about expressing love and grace. Forgiveness doesn't mean the offense has been forgotten or that injustice has no consequences. It means we are willing to see the person beyond their failure. It means we are willing to release the person from the debt they owe us, just as God has released us from our debt. How do you feel when you forgive? How do you feel when you are forgiven? There's no doubt that forgiveness can be a challenging process, but the result is freedom. Freedom from resentment, freedom from hatred, freedom from the past. How can we forgive in real life? First, by remembering how we have been forgiven. Second, by seeking to understand the person who has offended us. Third, by asking God for the strength to forgive. Think of people you know who exemplify forgiveness. Think of people who have been forgiven and who have forgiven. How has it changed their lives? How has it impacted the people around them? These examples are not here to make us feel guilty, but to inspire us, to show us that forgiveness is possible. And so, we are called to live out the parable of forgiveness. To forgive not because it is easy, but because it is what we are called to do as children of God who have been forgiven. To forgive in order to reflect the love and grace that have been shown to us. We hope this message of forgiveness has touched your heart. Now, it's your turn to act. Forgive those who have hurt you. Share the same grace and love you have received. Live out the parable of forgiveness. If you have been inspired by this message, please leave a like and share it with your friends and family. Let's spread God's word and the beauty of forgiveness. May the peace of the Lord be with you. Until our next video. God bless.